Hi, I wanted to make this video. This is not on astrology. This is on antarjatik bhasha divas, which was on 21st of the February, and it is about my love towards my language, that is Bengali, the Bengali culture and all. So I I was born in Kolkata, but I never lived in Kolkata, and I lived in Bihar, which is Jharkhand now, and then in UP. I have studied in UP, BHU Hindu University, and then uh, I stayed with my husband in Purulia. I think I stayed there for 6 months only because I was in hostel in BHU then. But my husband stayed there for 2 to 3 years. Uh, and in my childhood days, during my childhood days, for 1 year only, I stayed when I was 3 years old, 3 to 4 years old. I stayed with my grandparents and my masis and mamas. So, except those few years, I never stayed in Bengal. But when I visited Bengal later, I have seen that people uh, eat mach definitely, but they are more fond of pathar mangsho, uh, which everybody thinks that Bengalis are vegetarians. I was always like that. I was very fond of fish and fond of fish only. And later, my son became vegetarian. My son, I think, when he was in class one, he retaliated for the first time. I don't want to eat magur mach, and even he was younger than that. Uh, he told the same when he was, I think, 2 years old. When he was 2 years old, like most of the Bengalis, they bring Giol mach, means magur mach, means catfish, magur mach or singi mach, which is catfish. They keep them alive in water, in a bucket, and like today they will cut one, tomorrow they will cut one this way and make fish curry. uh, for kids mostly, this is a common practice amongst Bengali people. So when my husband was in IIM Ahmedabad, he was in IIM Ahmedabad. He was out of Ranchi. Those days I lived with my mother, I think for 1 year. Uh, just after birth of my son, I lost my father. So it was very awkward that time because my father was not there at home. Always I used to think that my father is there, but he is in the other room. Always I felt like that. So I lived there with my son and my mother and my sister. So those days also I do remember I used to work in Loreto Convent, and after the school is over I used to do copy correction because my son used to pee on the copy correction. After that, going to nearby market, Doranda market, and buying fish from there. Fish was not that regular, but we were never that regular in fish. Being Probashi Bangali means we never lived in Bengal. So fish was not very regular, but it was like when I was a child, fish was there for 2 to 3 days a week, and egg was there for 1 day, and like chicken or meat was there for 1 day. So that was the normal routine. After that, someone told my father that he should not have non-veg on Sunday. So those days then, having chicken or mutton on Sunday stopped. But otherwise it was not having fish every day. Like in a week, if fish for 3 days or fish for 2.5 days, and then egg for 1 day, then 3 days were there when we were having vegetarian. So when I got married, that time, after that also, fish or any kind of non-veg was not very common in my in-laws' place. It was like that only. Once in a while, I used to bring. I was the fishitarian public, so I used to bring fish uh, sometimes. So that was the common routine. But when my son, when we came 15 years back in Dehradun, my son, he was hardly in class 1, he stopped. When he was in Ranchi, he was, I think, 1 year old. That time he cried a lot. That fish is my friend, and you people have killed that fish. He was crying a lot. So that time I was thinking he might change after a particular age, or he might not change. I think so many kids are there who, from their very early age, especially the Bengali kids or the Punjabi kids who are habituated in non-veg from very early age, they don't want to eat anything other than paneer and chicken and eggs and all, either non-veg or in vegetarian paneer. So it was not trend at our place. Even the fish was cooked with mache jhol, with potol, aloo, fulkopi, gajor, every vegetable. During the winter, it was cooked with cauliflower and gajar and all those things. And during summers, it was cooked with parval and all. But and fish talk was there, which was cooked with brinjal and radish, एंड कद्दू भी रहता था उसमें, उसमें भिंडी भी रहता था. दिस वे वी यूज टू कुक माछेर टॉक. सो when my son retaliated, he was in class 1, and from class 2 onwards, he almost stopped. Once in a while, I will bring fish or chicken or whatever. He will be reluctant, and we used to force and this kind of thing. My mother also used to force me when in class 8 I wanted to stop fish. So we stopped fish when my son was in class 3 or something like that. But after that also, I never got habituated with rajma chawal or kadhi chawal. I never had. Anybody will invite me for rajma chawal, I will go there. I will have that rajma same way the Bengalis used to eat राजमा एज घुगनी. राजमा के ऊपर प्याज टमाटर नींबू काट के दे दिया और चाय के साथ पी लिए. एंड पीपल यूज टू बी वेरी शॉक्ड कि राजमा चावल के साथ नहीं खाओगे. आई कैनॉट एक्सेप्ट राजमा और कढ़ी विथ चावल. आई कैन हैव ओनली झोल, झाल, ombol, means stock, and posto, shukto, ghonto, chachori, because by that time I was vegetarian. So, and variety of chutney, and Bengali chutneys are cooked. It can be mango chutney, which is cooked with gur or chini, and it can be tomato chutney or whatever, imli ka chutney or whatever it is. So for books, I rarely read a Hindi or English book. It was very difficult to manage to get some Bengali books. But whenever anyone is going in Bengal, I used to like order books only. कि वहाँ से books ले आना और साड़ी ले आना. Sari, I did not have much enthusiasm about various kind of sari. Plain cotton. It should be cotton. सस्ता से सस्ता cotton साड़ी होने से भी चलेगा. But it should be pure cotton. That was the only criteria. And my mother wore only sari till she died. And she used to say, like many other Bengalis, or it was written in Shanunda, that we used to take Bengali magazine, we used to take Bengali newspaper. Anandabajar used to take in the childhood days, Anandabajar, and then Shananda and Desh, this kind of, even I think before COVID, till COVID, we used to take Desh and Shananda in every month. After COVID, the vendors stopped buying those from Kolkata, so it has stopped. Otherwise, now we used to take English paper after marriage. But before marriage, it was Bengali newspaper, Bengali magazines. In TV, last 8-9 years, I have not watched TV and discarded the TV also, the old one. Have not bought new. I cannot imagine to buy a new TV because in my profession of healing, it needs pin drop silence. Even in astrology, if you are a good astrologer, you do understand it should be pin drop silence, it should be vegetarian, pin drop silence, and whatever. So, whatever clothes my ma used to wear, that cotton sari during summer, and silk sari during winter, and during the rainy days, the synthetic saris. So, the same trend I'm following. So, in my age group, nobody wears sari. They wear sari only occasionally. I wear, I don't like salwar suit much. Until and unless it is very much designer or made by me, means cut and stitched by me or bought from somewhere and embroidered by me, then only I love wearing those. Otherwise, most of the time, my salwar suits are, I love to wear salwar suits made by me myself. Okay. So rare, that is very rare. Most of the time I wear sari only. I wear cotton sarees during the summer season, and silk sarees and synthetic silk during winter, and synthetic during rainy season. So about language, I taught in English medium schools, in DAV, DPS, Scholars Home also here, and in colleges also. So I taught in English, but I spoke always in Bengali. When Ishan was in St. Michael's, Hyderabad, his class teacher called me once, I do remember, and told me that this is very disturbing that Ishan does not know how to talk in English or Hindi. So he cannot communicate much in other languages, and he knows only Bengali and all. And I used to say that I'm very proud that he is speaking Bengali. I was actually very sad that he cannot write Bengali. He was speaking Bengali at home, and I think when he was in one, class 1 or 2, we were in Dehradun. He started speaking Hindi and English both. Before that, he used to speak in Bengali only. And how to teach him Hindi and English? It was Hindi channel cartoon, English channel cartoon. That was the only. And we found cartoon to be very healthy, because boasting a child with news, and I never felt those news channels are worth watching. एंड न्यूज़ के अलावा और कोई चैनल तो वर्थ था ही नहीं, कभी भी नहीं था, बिकॉज आई लव मूवीज़, बट आई लव टू वॉच मूवीज़ इन द मूवी थिएटर. So at home also I loved movies only. Sometimes I watched movies. Serials I never watched. Hindi serial I never ever watched. When I was a small child, I have watched Fauji. I have watched Bunyad. When I was a small child, I have watched Bunyad. Then हम लोग बुनियाद, हम लोग, फौजी, रामायण, महाभारत. But later on, never watched any Hindi serial. Last Bengali serial I have watched it. I was very selective about Bengali serials also, but I watched Bengali only. Last Bengali serial was I think something about Rabindranath Tagore. And another serial I have watched, I don't remember the name, where very famous mm, stories, very famous stories of famous authors are there, were there. So Bengali serials only in Hyderabad I have watched Bengali serials after marriage. I remember in Purulia also I watched Bengali serials, but not each and every serial, whole evening sitting in front of the TV. I was never like that. Selective, एक दो serials देखते थे, but it was Bengali only. So Bengali books, Bengali serial. I never ever had dal roti or dal chawal, or rajma chawal or chole chawal, or kadi chawal, whatever. It was, or roti sabji. It is very surprising. I don't like roti sabji, and I don't have roti sabji ever. I was in class 8 when I told my mother that I don't want roti for breakfast. After that, before that, it was doodh roti. After that, it was only roti with ghee, chini, and malai wrapped, but not roti dipped in milk. And later on, it was murmura, chuda, typical Bengali, not cornflakes. Ishan had conflicts. You will be very surprised that Ishan loves and enjoy murmura in the afternoon. Murmura ke साथ namkeen, murmura ke साथ खीरा, gajar, टमाटर, प्याज. He loves to have. My father also, I have seen my father also. He always lived in Bihar, but I have seen him every evening, every afternoon to have murmura with salad, means gajar, muli, pyaj, tomato, khira, whatever was there at home. Small amount of that, small pieces of those, and namkeen or chana with murmura. And when I was a small child, I have seen in my grandmother's place there were a heap of murmura given to servants, and we also had murmura with doodh and kela and all. And even today, nowadays at night, I take murmura doodh, murmura dahi, or kela. I stopped having milk or milk products. Ishan does not take, but after that, bone trouble because I have taken too much of coffee, too much of lemon. Especially coffee is very, 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 very negative for bones. So now I take milk, not every day, but if my mood is off, if I'm not satisfied with the vegetables, then I take murmura with doodh or chawal with doodh and kela mashed, like any traditional Bengali used to have. I was never ever fond of बिरयानी. आजकल के बंगालीज बोलते हैं कि बिरयानी इज ए बंगाली फूड. आई एम वेरी शॉक्ड. बिरयानी वॉज नेवर अ बंगाली फूड. संडे लंच में पाठार मांस एंड मुर्गीर मांस एंड पाठार मांस के साथ चावल बनता था. बिरयानी वॉज नेवर अ बंगाली आइटम. I was in Hyderabad. I cooked biryani for in-laws, friends and all, but it is never ever a Bengali cuisine. Bengalis can be very much, nowadays Bengalis don't know how to cook shukto or posto, but they are fond of biryani. So I really don't understand this kind of Bengalis. Till date, I love to have shukto posto, and I cook shukto posto, ghonto chachuri, jhol, jhal, these things only every day with rice. So about food, I'm a Bengali. For few years, 2 years, I think I learned classical, Hindi classical, but South Indian classical also I think I have learned in between for 2 years. I have learned Bengali music only. Rabindra Sangeet I have learned from my childhood days. I eat Bengali. I wear, see, batik sari. I wear sari always. Maybe all these things, the people who are dwelling in Bengal, they don't do. Because they live in Bengal, they get bored with macha jhol bhat, they get bored with sari, they get bored with whatever the Bengal has. But I never lived in Bengal. I was only born in Bengal. I never lived in Bengal for more than like 1 year in the childhood, and after marriage, my husband was there for 3 years, so I lived there for a few months. And so, watching TV, when I used to watch 8 years back TV, I was a Bengali serial watcher, although that was like half an hour in the whole day, or might be a few days, half an hour or 1 hour. Other than those, I used to see National Geographic, Discovery, and all those kind of things only. So I never watched any Hindi serial. बचपन के बाद से रामायण महाभारत के बाद कोई हिंदी सीरियल नहीं देखे. In clothes Bengali, in food Bengali, and novels also. I have many novels kept here. All are Bengali. So I tried my best. I don't know whether I could do or not, but I tried my best to be a Bengali till I die. Bye. Have a nice day.